This afternoon, we take a time out to recognize our four senior members of the USF Women's Soccer Program. We start with student manager Daniela Robles and Sergio and Edith Robles. Daniela is a history major. She's been part of the program for the past 5 years as a student assistant and has been taking the team's list in 6 of her 8 semesters. Number 12, defender midfielder, Claudia Hernandez. Her mother, Veronica Hernandez, and her sisters, Celeste, Karen, and Emily Hernandez. Claudia is a psychology major. She's a 3-year member of the program after transferring in from the College of Lake County. Claudia has appeared in 52 matches with 37 starts during that time and has produced 2 goals and 4 assists. Number 12, Claudia Hernandez. Number 15, midfielder forward, Lindsay Mendez. And her parents are Carlos Mendez. Lindsay is a criminal and social justice major. She's a 5-year member of the program. A CCAC all-academic selection, Lindsay has played in 65 matches, with 64 of those being starts. During that time, she has totaled 16 goals and 10 assists for 42 total points. Included in the goal count are 3 game-winning goals. Ladies and gentlemen, Lindsay Mendez and her parents, Araceli and Carlos Mendez. Number 7, midfielder forward, Valeria Velasquez.
live from Joliet Memorial Stadium in Joliet, Illinois. This is USF Women's Soccer. I'm Alex Melcars. Thanks for joining us this afternoon on what should be a competitive contest between the hosts, the Fighting Saints of the University of St. Francis, and the visiting Viterbo V-Hawks. The V-Hawks enter this one with a record of 7-2-5, making the 4+ hour trip down from Wisconsin for the first CCAC matchup between these two clubs. In the conference this year, they're showing out well at 5-1-2 towards the top of the table, trailing only St. Ambrose. For the Fighting Saints, they are fighting for their playoff lives and potentially a home playoff game. A conference record of 5-2-3. They are 5-6-5 overall. Their streak of 8 straight unbeaten was snapped a few nights ago as they fell 2-0 to St. Ambrose on the road on Tuesday. They look to avenge that loss tonight, get back in the win column, and at least get a point, something they've been very good at this year. Getting themselves nothing but, ties, it felt like, for the longest time, and eventually they rattled off about 4 straight wins in the middle of the year. Let's get you a look at the starting lineups. First, for St. Francis in goal, Crystal Rodriguez, Aishel Pelayo, Zoe Villant, Abby Janacek, Valeria Valles-Garcia, Alexis Mariquin, Claudia Hernandez, Litzy Mendez, Kelly Flores, Emily Galvin, and Andrea Aguirre. For the V-Hawks in goal, Molly Ripley, hailing from England, but more on that later. Alex Little, Hadley Dammer, Jenna Bennett, Casey Hill, Ellie Hager, Ella Harmon, Carson Deasons, Rachel Kinney, Brooke Clements, and Lauren Wedig. St. Francis will have the ball first, going from right to left on your screen. We're ready to go here at Joliet Memorial. We are underway on this windy Saturday afternoon, the first of 2 matchups between St. Francis and the V-Hawks. The women first, the men to follow at about 3 p.m. It is senior day, so if you're late to the broadcast, we have celebrated our seniors in the pregame. More on them throughout today's broadcast. Student manager Daniela Robles, Claudia Hernandez, Litzy Mendez, and Valeria Valles-Garcia. V-Hawks with it in the defending third of the field. Move it around now to the near sideline. That's Ellie Hager with it. She plays a little give and go to keep it alive along the near sideline before gives it up in the middle of the field, and the Fighting Saints look to take some sort of control. They're unable to do so, and the V-Hawks continue their attack. Hager again as the ball deflected at midfield. Ooh, a nearly promising pass there is coming up from her spot in the attacking third. Looked like number 12 in blue for the V-Hawks. Far side, Rodriguez left the goal open, and a nice play on the back end by Emily Galvin to clear it away, avoiding an early disaster as the V-Hawks almost waltzed their way into an empty netter. Fighting Saints grab control, and they could use a clearance here to regroup. Playing catch on the far side. They give it up. Here come the V-Hawks again. Looking for a cross. Finally putting it into the middle of the field. It comes into the foot of a Fighting Saint before a shot is deflected off of Tupper and out. It'll be a goal kick for the Fighting Saints. Crystal Rodriguez, defending the goal for the Fighting Saints, has the all-time record in shutouts. She has 11 career shutouts. She has just 30 career appearances, a goals against average under 132 saves, a save percentage of 82% in her career. All-time 11-10-5, but like I said, the all-time shutout leader for the program. The V-Hawks controlling most of the possession here. The Fighting Saints have yet to have any real threat. The V-Hawks have carried it into the box and nearly walked into a goal early on here. And now with some stability, here come the Fighting Saints. Mendez with a pass intended for Pelayo, and Pelayo loses a handle on it out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Carson Deasons. Mendez on the defense, one of the seniors honored today. The V-Hawks move it around back to the defensive line. It's Dammer. Hager now on the near side. It is almost run over by Mariquin. The ref plays advantage, and it'll be a throw out after the attempted clearance. Correction, they do call the foul on Mariquin there. I was going to say I was a little too physical here in the early going. It'll be a free kick for the V-Hawks. It's a windy one here. I'm sure you guys can hear it. We're in the shelter of our press box up here as we approach about 41.5 minutes to play in this first half. We're just under 4 minutes into this one. The free kick goes all the way to about 10 yards out from the goal. They boot it around a little bit, and the Fighting Saints finally able to clear. Merriquin giving chase, but is unable to get to it. Dammer tries to keep it in on the attacking third, but her pass attempt flies out of bounds for a throw-in for the Fighting Saints. Seahawks take control off of the throw-in. Hill with it. Fighting hard for the ball with Andrea Aguirre. Hager has it again. The midfielder passes it up, and into the attacking third we go. It's Clements who has it ripped away from her. Hill on the far side loses control of the ball. Aguirre tried to get some kind of control, but a nice defensive play from Little. Moves it upfield for the V-Hawks. Dammer goes back and forth with Hager, and Hager down the near sideline trying to keep it in, unable to do so. It'll be another goal kick for Crystal Rodriguez. Crystal, the sophomore, local product, went to went to Morton West out of Bridgeview, Illinois. Her second year as a Fighting Saint, and after starting most of the year as a freshman, she's gotten the majority of the starts here her sophomore year. Rodriguez's goal kick goes about 40 yards, but it is controlled by the V-Hawks and Wedwig. The offsides flag goes up, and it looks like they're going to get Herman as the guilty party there. Got a little too excited on the attack. Fighting Saints dodge a potential bullet. Didn't look like that attack was going too far there for the V-Hawks, but regardless, Fighting Saints take over possession. Under 40 minutes to play, first half. Fighting Saints have yet to have a real good look at the goal, trying to get back to their winning ways after dropping their match to St. Ambrose on Tuesday night, a 2-0 defeat. Fighting Saints will get a throw-in at midfield. It'll be Pelayo to trigger. Pelayo finds Flores, the reigning CCAC Offensive Player of the Week for the Fighting Saints. Into the middle of the field now is Mendez. Mendez with some room to work now. First promising attack here for the Fighting Saints. Pelayo on the far side, looking for Valles Garcia. Merriquin now, moving it backward, back towards Flores. Mendez again, trying to work towards the box, gives it up, thought she was fouled, didn't get the call. Fighting Saints able to regain control of the ball, though. And fighting for it is Janacek. Janacek, gets bumped off the ball. A nice defensive play there by the V-Hawks to at least try and get possession in the meantime. Janacek fights for it back. Mendez and Pelayo play catch it with each other about 10 yards out from the box. An errant pass finds its way to the V-Hawks, and they get a partial clearance out to the midfield. Pelayo with 3 V-Hawks surrounding her, able to dribble her way out of trouble. A nice pass intended for Merriquin, just out of reach. V-Hawks get a clearance. And now Viterbo with possession of the ball before Mendez executes a nice tackle, taking it away out of the foot of Hadley Dammer. Pelayo, one-on-one, passes it back towards the middle of the field. Aguirre gets pushed off the ball, two-handed push, and there's the foul call. So the Saints, about 18 yards out, they'll have an opportunity here. Kelly Flores has executed some of these longer free kicks, turned them into goals over the past few days. She's been known to go for goal here. See what she draws up this time. First real threat for the Fighting Saints here today. Pelayo and Mendez at the edge of the box with Janacek, Aguirre, among others. Flores gets the okay, and here we go. Flores, it's a set piece, an intended pass into the box for Vallant. Vallant's shot is blocked, and the V-Hawks are able to clear. It was a bit of a cluster there in the middle of the box. Eventually, it was number 7 in blue, Jenna Bennett, who cleared it for the V-Hawks. Her clearance goes out of bounds for a throw. Aguirre tried to control that throw in, was unable to do so, but it bounces off of a Viterbo player out of bounds. Another throw in for the Fighting Saints. This time Pelayo will throw it back. The Saints will try and set something up from there. Flores and Janacek. And 3 Viterbo players swarm Janacek, and she gives up the ball. Going the other way now is Wedwig. Wedwig tries to get past Emily Galvin, a talented defender for the Fighting Saints. Unable to do so, Mendez takes control. Mendez's dribble goes off of a Viterbo player out of bounds. They take control going from right to left. 36 minutes to play here. First half, no score, Viterbo and USF. Janacek now at the midfield will bring it across, and here we go. Janacek to the outside looking for Mariquin. Mariquin doesn't quite have the numbers for an attack yet. Tries to put it into the middle of the box, forces Viterbo to just kick it out, give the Saints an opportunity to set something up here with Dammer. Mariquin throws in. A nice pass for Aguirre. Aguirre trying to get control at point-blank range, unable to do so. Wow, and the clearance attempt goes off of the face of Valles Garcia, out of bounds for a Viterbo V-Hawk throw-in. Still an opportunity here to force a turnover. Well deep into their defending range are the V-Hawks. Janacek tries to get in front of that throw-in, but unable to do so. It bounces off of her out of bounds. V-Hawks will move up the field a few yards. Hager again to throw in for Viterbo. Viterbo, the newest member of the CCAC for men's and women's soccer. Their fate as a full-time member remains unknown, at least for the time being. That decision is coming soon for the V-Hawks. If they do, that'd be a huge step for the CCAC in getting back to 10 teams in a lot of their sports, get 2 bids for NAIA tournament play for a lot of these team sports. V-Hawks with an attack going the other way. A pass intended for Dammer might be out of her reach. Rodriguez comes out of goal to make a play on the ball and dives onto it nicely and prevents any further potential damage. Rodriguez will punt it high into the Joliet sky, off of the leg of Valles Garcia, and into the foot of a V-Hawk. Casey Hill with the ball, looking in the outside for Dammer, couldn't get her. A nice job by Lauren Wedwig to keep up the pressure, looking for Dammer now along the near sideline, and we are going to have, is that a foul or an offsides first? We have an offsides first call. Or check that, they're going to give him a goal kick. Saw the flag go straight up. Was unsure of what the assistant referee wanted to do. He awards the goal kick, and the Fighting Saints, after being pressured early in the ball game, have been able to avoid a lot of that pressure the last few minutes. Teams fight for it at midfield. It's Mendez going head-to-head with Kinney. Ball rolls out of bounds towards one of the USF student workers. Fighting Saints will work it back. Vallant finds Claudia Hernandez, one of the seniors honored in the pregame ceremony. Nice play from Hernandez to get that out of the harm's way. Near side is Hager. Hager is defended this time by Mariquin, and Hager's going to work it all the way back to the defending third of the field for the V-Hawks. Well out of net comes Molly Ripley, the goalkeeper for Viterbo. She's a grad student out of Didcot, England, and I know I'm going to butcher this, but she's a transfer of the University of Gloucestershire. Where that is, I could not tell you without any further research. The international goalkeeper this year has played well for the V-Hawks. Ripley this year a 4-2-2 record. Goals against average of 1.27 in her 8 starts. She's appeared in 13 total matches to this point. Here come the V-Hawks down the far sideline. Looks like they might have had something there for a minute. But that one's well out of the reach of Ella Herman. It'll be another goal kick for Crystal Rodriguez. One of the seniors honored today was student manager Daniela Robles. She was escorted in the pregame ceremony by Sergio and Edith, her parents. She's a history major and has been part of the program for 5 years as a student assistant. And here at USF, she was a Dean's List member 6 of her 8 semesters. I'm sure she'll get it at least one more time before she leaves here. So congratulations to Daniela on a great career here at USF. A huge member to Al Pilar's coaching staff and management staff here in the USF women's soccer program. Claudia Hernandez plays it upfield. Valles Garcia couldn't quite get underneath it, and the V-Hawks take over. Casey Hill with it at midfield. Finds Clements now to the outside looking for, it looked like Herman. Herman was unable to corral it. And now Clements has it ripped away from her again. Saints finally with some possession here at midfield. Janacek to the near side for Mariquin. Mariquin plays it back to Janacek. The V-Hawks have had a very successful job of getting the ball away at the midfield from the Fighting Saints. Any bit of control the Saints seem to have is almost immediately ripped away. The V-Hawks just swarming to the ball. We continue with play at midfield, now towards more of the attacking third of the Fighting Saints. Rachel Kinney, the defender, plays it upfield looking for Tupper. Big collision as Little and Mariquin came together. The foul is on Little, and they restart play immediately. Aguirre lost control of the ball, and here come the V-Hawks. Well, check that. Zoe Vallant has other plans. Vallant tried to win the ball again, but was unable to do so. Her touch just a little too hard and out of her reach. The V-Hawks with a long ball down to the other end of the field, and in the corner with it is Herman. Herman attempted a cross. It's deflected out of bounds for a throw. The wind in the face of, it looks like, Carson Dessens as she looks to throw it in. It's a cross breeze here from the near side of the field to the far. The throw-in goes nowhere for Viterbo. It'll be another goal kick for the Fighting Saints. Viterbo out shooting USF 3-0 to this point. So once again, Viterbo, good pressure, forces a throw-in their attacking third. Dessens. Oh, nice play by Dessens to keep it in after her throw into Wedwig was a bit wild. Ball's won at midfield by Mendez. Let's see, Mendez tries a pass upfield, but it's deflected. These two teams evenly matched so far. Flores tries to play it upfield. Mariquin, it's just a little out of her reach, too far up the field. But a nice job by Mariquin to keep up the pressure, forces Ellie Hager to kick it out of bounds, gives the Fighting Saints a throw and a potential set piece here coming. They get right back to the action. Mia Okana, her attempted cross is well wide of and well long of everything. 27:45 on the clock, first half. No score. Viterbo and the Fighting Saints of USF. Alex Melkar is here with you from Joliet Memorial Stadium here on Senior Day. Thanks for joining us. The Fighting Saints have possession just outside the box. Once again, it's Okana. A little bit of tic-tac-toe into the middle of the box where there is no Fighting Saints jersey to be found. Janacek's going to try a long shot. I think just went off the wrong part of her foot. It goes wide of the net. That's the first shot. If they award that a shot, it'll be the first shot of the game for the Fighting Saints. Ripley's yet to really be challenged. Ripley with the goal kick, her first of the day. They go short. Looks like they're going to let Little carry it up the field here for a little bit. Now she's going to play it downfield. Janacek gets her foot on it to break up the pass. Bennett with it. Near side Hager. Hager down the sideline. Ooh, that was almost a very pretty pass along the sideline to Dammer, but it runs wide on her and long. Saints to restart. Well, it looks like they were going to try and restart, but the official would like the Saints to do so again. Claudia Hernandez will throw in. Ball back to the middle of the field. Kelly Flores runs underneath it and takes control. Flores tries to play it upfield, but it goes off of the body of Hill. Ball at the midfield, controlled now by Kinney after it rattled around for a little bit. Back to Alex Little. Little playing it upfield. Finds Jenna Bennett. Bennett's pass is intercepted finally by Mariquin. Janacek now with the ball. Trying to find some help upfield from Mia Okana, but can't seem to do so. Saints have been credited with 2 shots. 3-2 in terms of the shots so far. Here's a long shot, easily handled by Crystal Rodriguez, but that was a very clean look for Jenna Bennett as she waltzed right through the Fighting Saints defense. It's the first save of the day for Crystal. And the first shot on goal, I believe, as well, for either ball club in this one. For Viterbo this year, in their 14 games, they've scored 41 goals, averaging just under 3 goals a game. They give up just over 1 goal, so obviously that winning record a reflection of that. This is a team that shoots the ball pretty well. They have about 20 goals, 20 shots a game on average, as that shot from Mendez is wide left of the net. Saints still looking for their first shot on goal. Ripley's punt at midfield taken away. A nice play by Okana, but she's unable to turn it into anything, at least right away. Bennett with the ball, moving it upfield, finds Clements. Clements' pass deflects off of a player and all the way back to the back line for Little. Oh, here's a good look here on the near side. Dammer, her cross into the middle of the box is caught by Crystal. She loses a handle on it and eventually regains possession. A dangerous play from Rodriguez. She gets herself out of trouble. A nice cross off the foot of Hadley Dammer as well. Viterbo, another scoring threat, another scoring opportunity for them. We're still scoreless here, though. 23.5 to play, first half. Pace of the game starting to pick up now, as both teams have had opportunities at either side of the field in the last 90 seconds or so. After most of this game was being played at the midfield for the first about 20 minutes. Viterbo's going to let that one roll out smartly. They'll get a set piece on a throw-in. Carson Dessens will trigger that. The turf helps out St. Francis there. It sends the ball over the head of the intended receiver. A cross attempt finds the foot of Mariquin. Mariquin back for Janacek. Janacek's long shot right into the hands of Molly Ripley. There's a shot on goal, though, for the Fighting Saints. And that one, you could just tell, just hung up there in the wind. Ripley's boot right to Mariquin, but the deflection finds its way into possession of a V-Hawk. Casey Hill with it will play it back to the defense. Kinney gives it up on the near side to Alex Little. Little's long pass gets past Claudia Hernandez, and here comes Viterbo. Brooke Clements had a nice opportunity there, but was unable to get it to the open Hadley Dammer streaking away. But Clements will have another try here in the middle of the field. Able to find someone into the box on the left side, and losing control of it is Ella Herman. A nice defensive play by Litzy Mendez. Avoids more trouble for the Fighting Saints. Cross towards the middle of the field. And a bit of miscommunication, it looked like, between two Viterbo players as both of them thought the other one was going to go after it. Now with the ball, Casey Hill. She has to play it back a little bit. Bennett plays it back to the defense, this time Kinney. Fighting Saints defense playing much better now than they did earlier in the game. A little more organization, to them. Mariquin with the steal. Gets it back from Janicek. Near side O'Connor, and here we go. O'Connor with a hard touch, trying to race by the Viterbo defender, unable to do so. The two will fight it out for the ball. It finds its way to Mariquin. Mariquin into the box, intended for Aguirre. It finds its way to Pelayo, and Pelayo's unable to time up the bounce. Pelayo on the far side of the field, wins it past the defender. Pelayo's cross off the foot of Aguirre, and well over the net and wide. Definitely a shot attempt from Aguirre. Just couldn't quite get enough control. That might have been a little high on the pass as well. As Athletic Director Dave Laquetta is in a huge battle with a fly up here in the press box. Molly Ripley to restart the game. You never know what you're going to see up here at Joliet Memorial. USF trying to win it back off the foot of Claudia Hernandez and out. It's a big day of St. Francis Athletics today. The men's and women's cross-country team started us off with two very good performances. The men finished 5th out of 27 teams at the NAI Great Lakes Challenge. The women 1st out of 22. Olivia Bukowski finished 6th overall out of all racers to lead the way for the Fighting Saints. Also today, happening right now, the USF football team in Davenport, Iowa, taking on the winless Fighting Bees, trying to make it 2 in a row. And of course, following this matchup, you'll have the men's soccer team with their version of senior day against Viterbo. An opportunity, a back save there. Nice play by Claudia Hernandez. The threat's not over yet. Viterbo still with the ball. Bennett plays it back, and another miscommunication between two Viterbo players might have bailed St. Francis out. Little plays it into the box, well wide of everything. It'll be a goal kick. And again, the Fighting Saints avoid disaster. The second time the net has been left open in the early going of this one. Rodriguez will trigger with a goal kick. On the far side of the field, it's Descends for Viterbo. She just kicks it out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Fighting Saints. That ball just floated into the box. Crystal came up to play it. It went off of her hands. And if it weren't for Claudia Hernandez, we would be looking at a 1-0 V-Hawk lead right now. But right place, right time for the USF defender. That pass from Galvin finds its way to the foot of Crystal Rodriguez. And she clears. Valance chance to clear goes well up into the air. And Viterbo gets control, not before Claudia Hernandez. A nice slide tackle. Mariquin takes it away and puts it up to the midfield. Ball passed into the box, played out by Galvin, and now Flores with it, trying to get a prolonged possession here for the Fighting Saints. Mariquin gets a foot on it, but a nice play by Little to keep the pressure on, puts it all the way out at the end line. It'll be a goal kick. St. Francis and St. Ambrose, by the way, that football game still no score for those of you diehard Bernie fans following along. Rodriguez the boot to the midfield. It's a swarm of blue jerseys around Mendez, and Mendez was somehow able to get to the foot of Janacek. Marquin from behind pressures the V-Hawks into giving it away. That was Bennett. Isabel Henry, not a starter, came in from the bench, as here is Mia Okana, into the middle of the field, unable to get a good look. But Kelly Flores now, she's been known to let it go from deep, but is unable to keep possession of the ball, tripped over it a little bit. We go back to the midfield. Pelayo unable to control that pass. Out of bounds for a V-Hawk goal kick. Throwing. The V-Hawks in the midst of a 4-game win streak. They beat Roosevelt last time out on October 17th, 2-1, with the other 3 wins coming against Indiana Northwest, Governor State, and Judson. Leading goal scorer is 18 in blue, Brooke Clements. She's played in all 14 matches, 12 goals on the season, averaging almost 1 goal per match. Be another goal kick for the Fighting Saints. And we haven't seen much of Clements, at least as a goal-scoring threat so far. She's been setting up her teammates for the most part in this one. She's just waiting for her opportunity to strike. Rodriguez's goal kick controlled by Viterbo. Far side, it's Herman. Herman stumbles over herself, able to get possession back, though. Hager plays it back, and now a ball into the box. Will go out, wide left of the net. Sub coming on for the Fighting Saints. That's Isabel Diaz, the freshman from Llerna, Spain. She comes in for Janacek. Diaz this year tied for the lead in goals. She's got 5 for the Fighting Saints. Kelly Flores also with 5. However, Flores leads in points. She's got 3 assists for 13 points on the year. Diaz into the game immediately on that far side of the field as a part of this defensive set. Off the throw-in, Diaz gets it from Pelayo. The two of them play a little bit of catch. Diaz plays it upfield right to the foot of a V-Hawk. It's Hill. Hill along the sideline, unable to get it to the foot of a teammate. The Fighting Saints will throw in once again. A pass in the middle of the field for Dammer goes off her foot and out of play. Again, it's been a while since we've had a hard shot on goal from either one of these teams. Really, the last chance was the ball that floated into the box off of Crystal Rodriguez's hands, and I think that gave everyone in this box a bit of a heart attack there. As we come to the close of the regular season, in the CCAC, St. Ambrose 8-1, leading the way with 24 points. Olivet Nazarene 7-0-2, 23 points. Trinity Christian 6-1-1, 19 points. Viterbo and St. Francis on the heels of one another. A win today for St. Francis would clinch a home game in the first round of the CCAC tournament. A Viterbo win, obviously, the opposite. A tie would also do that for the Fighting Saints today, as St. Francis 18 points, Viterbo 17 in 5th place. In 6th place, St. Xavier with 16 points, and 7th place, Judson with 11, and 8th, Holy Cross has 7. Indiana Northwest and Roosevelt both have 6 points, looking for their outside chance at a tournament berth. Flores to the outside for Pelayo. Plays it up the field before Viterbo is able to put it back into their attacking third, and making a good run for it is Ellie Herman, but it won't stay in bounds long enough for her to get control, and running with her in the middle of the field was Dammer, who probably would have had an opportunity on goal there had Herman been able to get there and put something into the box. It's been a while since the Fighting Saints have gotten across midfield and had an opportunity on goal. Molly Ripley is a little bored down there. Let's give her something to do, huh? Lyle with it on the far side, plays it to the middle of the field. Finds Mendez. Mendez, one of the seniors honored today, plays it back to Galvin. Galvin back up for Mendez. Along the sideline for O'Connor, out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in. Subs coming in. Haley Bartlaga for the Fighting Saints. Bartlaga, a senior, still with a year of eligibility, though. She'll be back next year. Whether or not that's here with the Fighting Saints is yet to be seen. And Bartlaga went to Moraine Valley Community College before transferring here and becoming a Fighting Saint for the past 2 seasons. Far sideline, a nice play by Aguirre. Keeps the ball alive. Aguirre crossing in the middle of the box for Marquin. Marquin has it on her foot, turns, fires, and misses wide left. Alexis Marquin with probably the best look at the goal for the Fighting Saints to this point. Point blank range, a nice job to spin around and get a good look at it. Just missed the woodwork wide left. 10:30 to play, first half, no score. Viterbo and the Fighting Saints doing battle here for a home playoff game in the CCAC tournament. These two could very well be playing again very soon as a part of the CCAC tournament. Dammer with it. Finds the leading goal scorer, Clements. Clements and Dammer aren't able to hook up again along the near sideline. Diaz plays the ball into the middle of the field for nobody. Wanted it to look like Aguirre, but she was a little late to the party. Marquin into the middle of the field. On a bounce, it's played by Kinney. Diaz uses the head to control it. And a nice challenge there in the middle of the field from Mendez. She's unable to win it, but she at least slows down the V-Hawk attack for now. Under 10 to play in this first half. We're still scoreless at Joliet Memorial Stadium as Marquin wins the ball back. Her pass for Aguirre is well long, and the V-Hawks have control once again. Ball up the field. Here comes Clements. Valant will win the battle of the ball initially. She plays it back to Rodriguez, and Rodriguez's pass back to Valant is wide of her. Out of bounds, the V-Hawks have an opportunity to set something up here with a throw. Dammer wanted to take the throw, decided not to. Still no score in Davenport. Few Fighting Saints football fans. An audio broadcast of that can also be found right here on the USF Athletics YouTube page. Little's throw into the box is defended by the Fighting Saints. Mendez a play up the field. It'd be 2-on-2 if they can get control of this. But a nice play off the head of Helmstead halts that attack at least momentarily. Flores plays back to Valant. Valant almost gives it up. A great play to keep the pressure up by Clements. The Fighting Saints able to keep it in and keep possession. Galvin finally a long clearance to midfield. How about Clements? A little bit of the back check for you hockey fans there. Mia O'Connor looking for Bartlaga on the far side. Her first touch since coming into the game. Bartlaga, O'Connor back to the middle of the field. To the foot of Diaz. Diaz's long shot will be wide left. The worm burner just misses the woodworks, and it might have beaten Molly Ripley at first. But once she knew it was wide, I think you saw her kind of hold up to avoid any potential corner kick, something that we've not seen yet in this game as well. Still looking for our first corner kick, our first goal, and our first booking. That's El Hager with it on the far side. Taken away by Litzy Mendez. Flores finds Diaz in the middle of the field, now Bartlaga. Mia O'Connor with it, a pass into the box. Give and go, O'Connor with it. Her touch is a little hard. And I don't know if she thought there was going to be a foul called or what, but she kind of just pulled up after it went off her foot. And she's walking a little gingerly now on the far side of the field. Adamari Carrera checking in for Marquin here. Adamari appeared in 11 matches so far. Seahawks with the ball, ending the St. Francis attack. Hager had it, then she lost it through the legs of Bartlaga. It'll be a Fighting Saint throw-in, about 40 yards from the goal. 6:20 to play first half. We're scoreless. Both teams have had a few looks at goal. Both teams even in shots at 7 apiece. Viterbo with 2 shots on goal to St. Francis' 1. That one shot belonging to Janacek. The Seahawks win the ball at midfield, play it up the field, but nobody's home. Clements in the middle of the field was running with Dammer on the near sideline, trying to get something going. See a few of the men's players walking in. Their game slated to start at 3 p.m. As you see that ball just take off of Crystal Rodriguez's foot with the wind at her back now. It is howling out here at Joliet Memorial. Bartlaga, long pass into the box. It will trickle out of bounds harmlessly. 5:25 to play now in the first half. I mean, you just see that corner flag. Once again, the corner flag on the near side. I don't know if you can see it in your screens right now at home, but it is toppled over once again, as have the 2 flags on the far side of the field in the Viterbo attacking third. Kelly Flores fighting for possession, able to win it, finds Litzy Mendez. Mendez is tackled nicely in the middle of the field. A nice play by El Hager to win possession. Flores gets it back, though, for the Fighting Saints. They'll have a throw-in. Sergio Fernandez Arango, who we will see here shortly, gives it back to Flores for the throw-in. Diaz and Okana in the middle of the field fighting around 3 V-Hawk players. A nice play by Okana to fight through about 4 blue jerseys before she had to give up possession, and her pass was just out of the reach of its intended receiver. Far side of the field, here come the V-Hawks. A nice sliding tackle by Zoe Valance stops the attack in its tracks. L. Herman to throw. Deasons puts it into the box. Not sure if that was a pass gone wrong or an extremely long shot attempt into the wind. It's again Crystal. Her punt over the head of Diaz initially, but it came back down to her. They play it into the attacking third. The V-Hawks able to defend it, at least initially. Diaz tried to find Aguirre, but was unable to do so. 3:30 to play first half. We're still scoreless. Jockeying for position in the CCAC table on one of the last days of the regular season. A dangerous challenge from Claudia Hernandez. Ref plays advantage. Dammer into the corner. Plays it back, Henry. Henry into the box. Can't find anybody. Bartlaga there to tap it away from danger. Diaz loses possession. A long shot coming off the crossbar. Casey Hill. The rebound opportunity knocked away by Valant, as looming there was Brooke Clements. But how about Casey Hill into the wind, putting it off the crossbar? And now we're going to go back to the challenge here on the attack. That's going to go to Claudia Hernandez. The yellow card shown to Claudia Hernandez for her challenge on the attack as she tried to slide into the legs of Hadley Dammer. Dammer was able to evade that, and that led to one of the best looks of the game so far from Casey Hill. A shot off the crossbar with just 2.5 minutes to play in this first half. Viterbo has controlled possession in this game. They're out shooting the Fighting Saints, but they've yet to hit pay dirt. Throw-in coming from Little. The V-Hawks will keep the pressure up as Clements plays it in quickly. The Saints defender falls over. Here's Dammer Across into the middle of the box, Crystal Rodriguez comes out to play it, loses possession again, as there was nobody marking a player in the middle of the box. That was Ella Herman. That would have had a one-on-one look against Rodriguez had the pass found its way home. The defense again of the Fighting Saints caught napping. Bartlaga to throw, coming up on a minute to play in this first half. An exciting yet scoreless half here on senior day. Bartlaga tried to play it into the middle of the box, and sneaking around was Adamari Carrera. Ripley's punt flies nicely in the wind. From behind, getting called for the foul is Isabel Diaz, as she essentially pushed over Jenna Bennett in an attempt to win that ball. .30 seconds now. Taking their time setting this up. The V-Hawks want this to be the last look they have. Dammer from midfield puts it into the box. Off the head of Carrera. It will go out of bounds for a throw. 20 seconds. Running in for it is Little. She'll do the throw. Little's throw into the box. Punched out by Crystal. It'll be a corner. But with no time on the clock, we won't be able to see it come to fruition. We're still looking for our first corner kick of the match. Through 45 minutes of play, we are scoreless. Both teams have played evenly so far. Viterbo outshooting USF 8-7. Outshooting them in shots on goal 3-1. And what's been a highly contested matchup and a potential preview matchup of the first round of the CCAC playoffs. Well, we'll take a break for about 15 minutes, come back, get you set for the second half of play. No score here from Joliet Memorial Stadium. You're watching USF Women's Soccer on the USF Sports Network. We welcome you back here to Joliet Memorial Field. Alex Melcars bringing you this women's soccer matchup between the University of St. Francis Fighting Saints and the Viterbo V-Hawks through one half of play. We've got no score, so 45 minutes left to separate these two teams. Separated by just 1 point in the CCAC table standings. The University of St. Francis sits at 4th place, and in 5th place, right on their heels, the V-Hawks. A win today, and the Fighting Saints will secure themselves a home game in the first round of the CCAC playoffs. Well, at least they'll get one step closer to doing so. The V-Hawks, though, trying to have St. Francis travel the 4+ hours up north into Wisconsin with a win today. A draw, obviously, and everything would stay where it is now. Both teams would remain to be separated by 1 point. Viterbo's ball now. They will go from right to left here in the second half. On your screen, Fighting Saints in white going from left to right. All right, 45 minutes to play. Everyone's set. Whistle blows. Here we go. We're underway, and the V-Hawks want to run right away. Seeing this more now in the game are these set pieces off of the kickoffs that get the ball downfield quickly. But one of the issues with that is the counterattack, and you almost saw it right there. Mendez couldn't get free enough to start something, but she nearly had a nice attack going for the Fighting Saints. Janacek plays it upfield into the Viterbo defenses. Let's take a look at some of the numbers from the first half. Dammer and Bennett for Viterbo both had 2 shots. Casey Hill a shot. Deasons, Clements, and Wedwig all had a shot apiece. For the Fighting Saints, Janacek 2 shots, Merriquin 1 shot, Mendez a shot, and Aguirre a shot. Speaking of Aguirre, she has the ball on the far side of the field. Plays it to Pelayo. Pelayo back in the middle of the field. It's contained by the V-Hawks and cleared upfield to the midfield, where Claudia Hernandez tries to play defense but is unable to do so. Here come the V-Hawks. Looking for Herman. Herman turns around, gets control of it. Defense coming behind her and tried to play it up to Hager, but Hager was unable to get her head turned around in time. Ball running away and making a good run for it here is Okana. Okana got the beat on the Viterbo defender, Kinney, but was unable to get to the ball before the end line. Both players keel over in exhaustion there. And they both emptied the gas tank there on that one. It'll be a goal kick. Viterbo outshot St. Francis 8-7 in the first half. Crystal Rodriguez had 2 saves. Crystal Rodriguez had 1 save, and then Claudia Hernandez was credited with a back save. Viterbo's goalkeeper, Molly Ripley, just 1 save on the 1 shot on goal from Janacek about 20 minutes into the game. Best chance, though, came from Casey Hill of Viterbo. She put one off the crossbar in the last 5 minutes of the first half. Had everybody here nervous, and I mean, it was a long shot, too, 25-plus yards out. Far side of the field is Pelayo. Tried to play it in the middle of the field for a Fighting Saint, nobody home. Janacek along the sideline with Claudia Hernandez. Hernandez will play it all the way back to Crystal Rodriguez, and they will restart from there. Pelayo to Janacek. Kelly Flores. Her pass is deflected, but eventually controlled again by Aguirre. Aguirre to the near side for Merriquin, but defended nicely by Deasons. Kenny with the ball on defense, and her pass just tails out of bounds to the foot of head coach Scott Pernstill, his 15th season as the manager of the V-Hawks. Both teams looking for the first goal of the ball game. Just 3 total shots on goal between the 2 ball clubs so far. Fighting Saints, a nice pass, no-look pass from Aguirre. Was looking on the near side for Okana, but they couldn't get it there. Kelly Flores, the reigning CCAC Offensive Player of the Week, plays it to the far side of the field looking for Pelayo. And now Litzy Mendez finds it. Mendez trying to work her way into the box is denied by El Hager. Out of bounds for a throw. Just under 4 minutes into this second half of play. Still no score between Viterbo and St. Francis. Alex Melcars along with you for the ride here. And this senior day for the Fighting Saints, their last home game of the season. A long shot coming right into the gut of Molly Ripley. That looked like O'Connor, who let that one rip from about 22 yards out. As the ball comes back to the midfield, part of the senior day recognitions, Claudia Hernandez, she's a psych major, escorted today by Frederico and Veronica, her parents. She's a 3-year member after transferring from the College of Lake County. She's appeared in 52 matches in her career, 37 of which were starts, and has produced 2 goals and 4 assists while playing some stellar defense for the Fighting Saints. Congratulations on a great career to Claudia Hernandez, celebrated today during Senior Day. It's a windy one here. The streamers and balloons hanging on for their dear life down there on that fence as the V-Hawks have an attack going, at least momentarily they did. Out of bounds for a throw. Fighting Saints ball. Oh, see some stars flying around into the crowd now. Believe we had a pop in a balloon somewhere. Hopefully we're able to corral most of those, and we've got balloons on the field. As balloons have flown onto the middle of the field. And they have a one-way trip to the other sideline, it looks like, planned. The foul is called against Viterbo. Kelly Flores, her long free kick. Nobody was there for it, but it just flips the field position. Al Pilar kind of puts his hands up as if to say why. But at the very least, forces Ripley to make a play. Viterbo to throw from their defending third of the field. That'll be Little on the throw. Mendez, a long spinning shot, bounces into Ripley's chest. So now that's 3 shots on goal for the Fighting Saints. Really only one of them has had any real threat at scoring. Here comes Viterbo. Clements plays it back to Bennett. Bennett at the midfield trying to reverse field. The far side for Hager. Her pass deflects off of Pelayo out of bounds. 38 minutes to play in the ball game here. It's a CCAC matchup between these two. They're first as conference foes. Viterbo, a new member for men's and women's soccer this year. They're applying to be a full-time member for all their sports. Their fate will be determined in the near future. And if they are accepted, it would be an additional team for a lot of the team sports to get the CCAC back to 10 teams after the loss of Trinity International and the impending loss of Roosevelt to Division II. A nice ball on the far side here. Ishel Pelayo with an opportunity to cross. Pelayo has it knocked away. Nice defensive play there from Hager. It'll be a throw. They quickly get it in. With the ball, it looks like Aguirre played up in the middle of the field. O'Connor. Now Flores. Flores for Mendez. Mendez trying to find an angle to get a shot on goal. Can't find anything yet. Tries to play it into the box. That's deflected right back to her. Flores now. O'Connor. O'Connor has it tapped away. Loose ball. Here comes Janacek's long shot into the foot of Ripley. Did not play that as well as she probably would have liked, but Ripley was able to do just enough to keep it out of the goal. That'll be another shot on goal for the Fighting Saints. Shot on goal number 4. Their 10th total shot. Viterbo is yet to get a shot off here in this second half after they dominated possession for the most part in that first half of play. Galvin plays it up the field to the foot of Litzy Mendez. Mendez and Flores. They're going to move it back around. Flores won the CCAC Offensive Player of the Week after having multiple game-winning goals throughout the week as a foul is drawn on the far side of the field to give the Fighting Saints possession again. Free kick all the way into the attacking third for the Fighting Saints. Litzy Mendez gets to it. Has Janacek waiting back, decides not to use her, going to take it herself. Mendez moving forward into the box. Defended initially, and now pass into the middle of the box again. Okana back for Flores. Flores, a long shot off of Ripley. Had to move laterally to get to it. Was able to knock it down and eventually control it with no Fighting Saints in the vicinity to clean up the rebound. It's another save for Ripley, her third of the half. We're still scoreless with 35 minutes to play in this match. The V-Hawks still looking for their first shot of the second half of play. The offensive pressure from the Fighting Saints has been fantastic to start off this second set of 45 minutes. Pilar making some adjustments as Mariquin's throw-in goes right to the foot of a V-Hawk, out of bounds. It'll be another opportunity for the Saints to set something up. This time right at midfield, Flores trips over the ball, and here's an opportunity for the V-Hawks. Wedig plays it up off the head of Valant, out of bounds. Be a V-Hawk throw on that far sideline. Back into the middle of the field, a deflection off of Janacek finds Kelly Flores. She's got a big leg, decides not to use it to clear here. They'll play it back, try to set up an offensive opportunity counterattack here. Janacek puts the ball up to the midfield. Okana tries to get the angle. Unable to turn the corner, but does win the ball for a throw-in at midfield for the Fighting Saints. Still scoreless in this one. Viterbo's offense has not been the same we saw from the first half. Whether that's the offense picking it up for the Fighting Saints or the defense just locking down a little better, not quite sure. Probably a mix of both. It's a goal kick coming from Molly Ripley. It's a good number of Viterbo fans that made the trip down. Decent little crowd on this windy senior day here at Joliet Memorial Stadium. If you couldn't make it, thank you for following along at home here on the USF Sports Network. No score here, 33 minutes to play. Second half. Litzy Mendez was one of the 4 seniors honored in today's pregame senior day ceremony. She was escorted by Araceli and Carlos Mendez, her parents. More on that in a minute. Mia Okana with the ball, plays it forward. Aguirre just out of reach of her foot. Not sure what happened there. Miscommunication maybe. Played into the middle of the field again by Mariquin. Mendez, Pelayo shot well high. Sub coming on, it's Isabel Diaz. She'll check in. And coming off the field is Okana. Viterbo's used only 1 sub so far today. And that's Isabel Henry. The Fighting Saints have used 4. Bartlaga, Okana, Carrera, and Diaz. But back to Litzy, as she has the ball on that far side of the field, trying to get an angle. Flores plays it to the near side, Mariquin. Mariquin could not get to it before the V-Hawk defender puts it out of bounds. Litzy's a criminal and social justice major, a 5-year member of the USF program. She's a all-CCAC academic selection. Litzy has played in 65 matches, 64 of which have been starts. She's had 16 goals and 10 assists, totaling up to 42 points. She's had 3 game-winning goals in her career. Diaz with the ball in the box, trying to find some help. Pelayo slides in, but a nice clear for the V-Hawks, and an opportunity for a counterattack. On the far side is Herman. Herman had Dammer running up the field, but lost control of it. Able to get it back and play it up to Clements. Clements gets past Galvin. Clements' cross is out. It will be a goal kick. It went right into the hands of Crystal, but not before it left the field of play. A nice effort there on the counterattack from the V-Hawks. Comes up short, but that's the first bit of life they've seen on the offensive side of things so far in this second half. The adjustments from Al Pilar so far this half have obviously been working. Ball bounces around, eventually finds its way to Marroquin. Playing it up the field. And here we go. Litzy Mendez has Aguirre, not going to use her. Carries it into the box, gives herself a hard angle, and shoots it off the side of the net. That'll be another goal kick. Still waiting on our first corner kick of the game here. The Fighting Saints, their past few times out, especially in their last home game especially against St. Xavier a few Saturdays ago. A 2-1 win for them here at home. Both goals came off of set pieces. They have not been able to flex that muscle here at all today. No close free kicks, obviously no corner kicks. Everything has had to come through the flow of the game. Flores could not get past the defender. And here's an opportunity for another V-Hawk counterattack. Bennett with it in stride. Plays it up to Dammer. Dammer has Clements streaking into the box, but her pass is right to Galvin, and Galvin is able to clear. A good job from the USF defense to hold strong there. Marroquin clears it up the field. Ripley will have to come out and play that one. The fans and the Vuvuzuela horn making noise in approval. Ripley's punt with the wind now in her face as it's kind of shifted to go from left to right now. The wind at the back of the Fighting Saints offense. See if they're able to use that to their advantage at all here down the stretch. Under a half hour to play in this second half. Playing it up the field is Wedig. Herman bounced it off of Volant, and Volant clears it out of play. Another throw coming for the V-Hawks. The V-Hawks 7-2-5 on the year, 5-1-2 in the conference. Fighting Saints 5-6-5 on the year, 5-2-3 in the conference. That 5-2-3 all part of an 8-game unbeaten streak. Ooh, dangerous decision there. On the far side of the field, Claudia Hernandez played it off her head into the hands of Crystal Rodriguez when Crystal probably could have just came up and done it all herself. Diaz boots it up into the air, allowing Aguirre to run underneath it. But the V-Hawks get to it first. That's Lauren Wedig that got there and moved the ball upfield before it goes out of bounds. Pelayo to throw in. She triggers to Aguirre out of bounds. It'll be a V-Hawk throw in going the other way. After an exciting start to the half, things have kind of slowed down and moved back to the middle of the field where things lived really the first 20 minutes of the match back in the first half. V-Hawks trying to push the ball forward, still looking for their first shot of the second half. Kinney plays it to the far side. Now they'll play it back to the defensive line with Little. Little up the field for Herman. And Herman's pass is taken away by Diaz. Janicek back to the middle of the field for Flores. Flores is going to have to get on her horse to get to it. Plays it up the right sideline. Had Marroquin breaking away, but a nice positioning play there from the defender. The V-Hawks moving the other way. Foul played as an advantage. The pass into the middle of the field is taken away. Brooke Clements could not find the open player moving into the middle of the field. That was Herman that she was unable to connect with. Here's Dammer now. Trying to move back into the middle of the field. Clements is there to pick her up. Dammer now on the outside. Crosses it in. Crystal will handle it. Wind is howling here at Joliet Memorial Field as you see Crystal's punt just carry and roll all the way to Litzy Mendez in the box. Mendez losing an angle, fighting for it, puts it on goal, off the crossbar. Ripley was unable to make a play. What an effort by Mendez just to get a look there. Flores placed it back into the box, trying to take advantage of the pressure. Diaz, left-footed shot coming, curls and fought off Molly Ripley. A save for Ripley. It's the first corner of the game coming for the Fighting Saints. They have succeeded this season on these set pieces. And now they're having a conversation here, the officials, on the near side. Not sure what it could be about. It was quite clearly a corner kick. Kelly Flores will take it on the far side of the field. Pelayo just in front of the net. Ball bounces in. Vallant fighting for it. It's a scrum, and eventually Ripley just hops on it. Two of the best chances of the game, three of the best chances of the afternoon even. For the Fighting Saints there, they come up empty. The wind starting to play a real factor as Crystal Rodriguez's punt that set all of this up went probably 20 yards further than it normally would, and then proceeded to bounce all the way into the box for Isabel Diaz. Litzy Mendez then lost the angle a little bit on the net, was able to fight back into the middle of the field, get a shot off that bounced off the woodwork and out of the net. Then obviously a second chance effort was saved by Ripley out of bounds, setting up that corner. What a wild sequence as the Fighting Saints were unable to convert it into points. Dammer with it now for Viterbo. Bennett into the middle of the field. Bennett's going to take the shot. It sails high over the crossbar. Bennett with a good look, but is unable to convert as Crystal watched it sail high over the crossbar. Not by much, but just high over the net. 23 minutes to play in this second half. No score. St. Francis and Viterbo here at Joliet Memorial Field. It's senior day on the USF Sports Network. Mendez plays it off her head to herself, was unable to get it after that touch. But Flores does it on her own. Mendez playing it forward, pass into the box, a shot on goal. I thought they were looking for Bart Laga, but instead she put it on goal right into the hands of Molly Ripley. It's another save for Ripley. She's had quite a few of those here down the stretch of this second half. Janacek, a nice sliding play to keep the ball away from Clements in the middle of the field. USF out shooting the V-Hawks 16-11 here. Shots on goal favors USF as well, 7-3. Vallant a clearance. Diaz on that far sideline was looking for it. Pelayo will throw into Diaz. The Fighting Saints with a set piece opportunity here. Flores up the sideline. Looking for Mendez. Mendez into the box. Has a clean look at the net. Off of Molly Ripley. She was unable to get it at first, but falls on it after it deflected off her chest. Another shot on goal for Litzy Mendez. Mendez now 5 shots on the game, 2 on goal. Pelayo throws it in. Far side, Mendez, a nice play. She's going to try and take this one into the box on her own. It's deflected. And it looks like Mendez was asking for a corner kick, and that's what it's going to be. An opportunity here for the Fighting Saints off of a corner. 20.5 to play here, second half. No score. Viterbo and the Fighting Saints in this senior day matchup. The first CCAC matchup between these two teams as well. Flores from the far corner. Puts it right into the middle. Off of a head. Did it get in? They say yes! I shelled Pelayo! Or did Flores put it in herself? The team swarms Flores. I thought Pelayo got a head on it, although it might have been a Viterbo player that headed it in. We'll see what the official ruling is. But with the way everyone reacted, it appears as if it will be a Kelly Flores goal off of the corner that deflected off of a Viterbo player and in. Saints are on the board. It's 1-0 with just under 20 to play here in this first half. Excuse me, in the second half. Viterbo trying to answer right away. Nice defense to stop the early attack. Ella Herman was coming in with a head of steam. Right now, the unofficial official ruling is Kelly Flores goal. The video team up here, led by Jake DiLorenzo, will take a second look at it for us. Get the official ruling for you here shortly. But as it stands, regardless of who the goal goes to, it's 1-0 Fighting Saints. Little the throw into the box. It falls into the middle. Bit of a scrum, and Bart Laga finally gets a foot on it to clear it. Diaz upfield, and here comes Mendez. Mendez gets past the defender. Mendez, one-on-one with Ripley. Save, rebound opportunity, scores! Lindsay Mendez on senior day. Outran 3 defenders and gives the Saints a 2-0 lead. Holy cow. The Mendez cheering section yelling in approval just below us here in the press box. But Mendez's first shot was saved by Ripley. The shot brought Ripley to the ground. She was unable to keep control of the ball. It laid loose out there for Mendez, and she stayed with the play and was able to finish it off, finally rewarded with a goal. Mendez gets her 6th shot of the game, her 3rd on goal, and finally puts one in the back of the net. It's 2-0 Fighting Saints. A lot of excitement here in the last 90 seconds. O'Connell with the ball for the Fighting Saints as they look to make it a 3-0 game. How about this tic-tac-toe performance? Finally, Diaz gets it as the Seahawks are able to slow play down. They clear upfield. It'll be a throw-in at midfield for the Fighting Saints. Fighting Saints are content to just let time run off here. You'll see them start to take their time with their free kicks, with their throw-ins. A little more content to let the back line pass back and forth as they try to set up attacks here down the stretch of this one. Saints have to go 18 minutes with a 2-goal lead, and they will have secured themselves a good chance at a home playoff game. That first goal, by the way, has been awarded officially to Flores. So the official's going to come over and talk to Al about something. Not sure what. As he kind of just stopped the game in the flow of it. Come over and talk to Al. Pilar this year got his 100th career win as a coach, as a collegiate coach between his time at Morton and here. Not sure what. Al turned and said something to the crowd, and they all jeered in approval. But it's a free kick from the midfield. Flores, a low line drive into the box, comes all the way back out to her. Flores playing it towards the box. It comes to Diaz. Diaz is going to flick it on goal, and Ripley has to punch it up over the net. That one just stayed high on Ripley. I thought it was going to come back down into her breadbasket, but she was forced to jump and punch it over the crossbar. Subs will come on for both teams. For the Fighting Saints, it's Alexis Mariquin. And for Viterbo, it's Isabel Henry. Under 17 minutes to play, second half. Kelly Flores with another set piece from that far corner. She got credit for a goal from that corner on the last time she was out there just a few minutes ago. Ishel Palayo comes off for Mariquin. As here's Flores' corner. It's long to the back post off of Bartlaga, and it will trickle out of bounds for a Viterbo throw. So don't have to clear the entire defense. The Saints can keep the pressure up here and try to force a turnover. As Henry, fresh into the game, does just that. Diaz onto the foot of Aguirre. Played out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Fighting Saints. The Viterbo men's team starting to make their way onto the pitch. As is the USF men's coach, Vince Martinez. Their match slated to start at 3 p.m. Not sure if we're going to be able to get that going. 3:30 p.m. It'll be pretty close to go time once this one is all said and done. O'Connor with it for the Fighting Saints. Plays it to Bartlaga. Back for O'Connor. Unable to control it. Mendez plays it into the box. Has Aguirre just out of her reach. And that should be a corner kick. That should be a corner kick, and it is. It was played by El Hager to Ripley, and in doing so, the ball went out of bounds. It is a corner for the Fighting Saints. Flores again to take her fourth corner of the game. After not having any in the first half, the Saints have had 4 here in the second half, one of which has turned into a goal, and another was a great chance. Flores trying to get it just the way she wants, and now she puts her boot into it. Low ground ball, played out of bounds. Fighting Saints will retain possession. Under 15 to play now in the ball game. Saints by 2. We went the first hour plus without a goal, and then the Saints rattled off 2 in about 90 seconds. One from Flores off of a corner kick that deflected off of a V-Hawk player and into the net. The second by Litzy Mendez on a rebound chance on a breakaway. With the win, if the result holds, the Fighting Saints will move to 6-6-5 on the season. That would put them at 6-2-3 in the conference and in prime position to host the first round CCAC playoff game potentially against the V-Hawks, depending on how things shape up at the bottom of the table today and the rest of the conference schedule. Goal kick coming for the V-Hawks. Wind in their face, and you see it just hang up there, well short, played off the head of Bartlaga. O'Connor with it. Back into the middle of the field. Plays it to the outside, Bartlaga. Crosses it in. Flashing into the box was Mariquin. And Mariquin is able to push Hager into the ball, and Hager plays it out of bounds. Another corner kick coming for Flores and company. Under 13 to play. Flores will once again take her time setting up this corner kick. Another low line drive. Mariquin attempted to deflect it, but was unable to corral it enough to do so. Played out of bounds by Hager. Off of a St. Francis player. V-Hawks retain possession. Palaio will come over and check in for the Fighting Saints. She'll come in at the next stoppage. Palaio today, 2 shots. One of which credited as on goal. So there's the official announcement. They are going to give it to Flores. Viterbo to throw it in. 11:45 to play. Clock running here. Saints just have to drain it all out. Played to the sideline to Henry. Henry tries to play it upfield for Clements, but Clements was late getting there. Fans wanted a foul called in the middle of the field as there was a physical play. Refs let him play on, and he's really done that all day today. The one card he has given was given to Claudia Hernandez after a slide tackle in the middle of the field that was well late. Certainly the right decision, as much as St. Francis fans would not like to admit that, But it was the correct decision in the moment as we creep under 11 minutes now to play. So 2 goals in just about 60 seconds for the Fighting Saints, and that's been all the excitement for this one. Plenty of opportunities for the V-Hawks in the first half when they were playing with the wind at their back, and they were unable to convert on any of them, and now with the wind in their face, they're given the tough task of trying to get 2 goals in less than 10 minutes. Volant will just play it out, and the V-Hawks will have a throw-in. The men's matchup promises to be just as contentious as both teams come in needing a win down the stretch of this conference schedule. Here come the V-Hawks again. Now Bubbers with it. First time we've seen her today. Hill, who had a great chance in the first half, put the ball off the crossbar. She places it in the middle of the field for Clements. Clements to the far sideline. That's Herman. Back for Clements, working it in the middle of the field, taking away. A nice play by Kelly Flores, and she'll play it upfield for Aguirre. Diaz tried to get it back to Aguirre on a give and go. It didn't work out. A nice play by Little to come up from the defensive line, and she'll carry it into the attacking third. Here come the V-Hawks, an opportunity to cross it here. Into the box, cross coming. It's a loose ball, and it finds the foot of a wide open attacker. Isabella Henry, the substitute, will put away the goal after the cross came into the box. Crystal collided with Emily Galvin. It's a 2-1 game. Don't look now. Clock still running with 8:50 on the clock, and they're going to have to add time to the clock.
What's he want?
So after the goal, it's 2-1. So they try to get the clock reset to the proper time. It'll be put at 9:10, and then we'll be good to go. Oh, they play it right on net to Ripley, and Ripley had some trouble with it. So Henry, the goal for Viterbo, has made things very interesting again here. It's a 2-1 game, 9 minutes to play. And the V-Hawks very much have life here at Joliet Memorial. Looking for Henry. Flores has other plans. Flores in the middle of the field now will take it back and let some time run off the clock before they set up this attack. Janacek to Valant, and Valant will play it all the way to the near sideline, intended for Bart Laga, off of a V-Hawk player for USF throw-in. Galvin will come over to take it. She'll roll it over to Bart Laga. Bart Laga throws it in off the head of Hedges. Flores came over for it, but over-pursued, and Bennett has it now for the V-Hawks. Viterbo with a promising attack here. Here's Herman. Her pass is out of the reach of its intended target. Flores. We'll play it back to Galvin. 7.5 to play now as we start to watch the clock more and more here down the stretch. Far side trying to run over to it is 20 in blue for Viterbo, who is not listed on this roster. #20 is Amy Kemper. First time we've seen her today. Is down at the other end. The ball will roll out for a Viterbo goal kick. 2-1 game. Goals from Mendez and Flores for the Fighting Saints. Goal for Henry for Viterbo. It was 2 unanswered to start from the Fighting Saints. Viterbo now trying to claw back in the last 10 minutes. Henry put it in after a cross brought Galvin and Rodriguez together in the box. Those two collided. Rodriguez fell to the ground, and the net was left unattended. And Henry had an easy tap-in goal. Little plays it up into the stands. It'll be a Fighting Saints throw. Subs coming in. Sandy Garcia, the junior from Burbank, Illinois, will check in for the Fighting Saints. Coming on off is Isabel Diaz. .5:45 to play now as O'Connor plays it back to Galvin. Galvin plays it towards the box. Off of a St. Francis foot. And here come the V-Hawks trying to push the pace here as Bubbers. But she has it taken away. A nice play by Mia O'Connor to take it back. O'Connor down the near sideline trying to turn this into a counterattack. O'Connor towards the box. Was unable to find her intended target. That was Jenna Bennett, That was Valles Garcia. And back over on the near sideline, Mia O'Connor is taken out by a defender. It'll be a free kick. 5 minutes to go. Flores to take the free kick. The ball rolling away in the wind. They stop the clock as Flores tries to get the ball to stay in place. Finally, Flores. And now the goal is blowing away as well. It's a windy one here at Joliet Memorial. Not quite in Chicago, but pretty darn close to the Windy City. Big day of USF sports was kicked off by the USF women's cross country team with a first place finish at the NAIA Great Lakes Challenge. The men followed that up with a fifth place finish of their own. Football right now is up on St. Ambrose. I don't have an exact score, but at last check it was 13-0 as Flores will finally play this one into the box. Headed around, loose ball, O'Connor gets control, tries to play it back, but is unable to get a shot on goal. Galvin will float one towards the net. Ripley lets it go out of bounds over her head. 4.5 to play. And Viterbo will have to work quickly. And the ref has stopped play on the near side here. Clock stops with 3:53 on it. There might have been too many players on the field. Yeah, there were two. They had 12 players on the field there when that play started. So I'm not sure what the adjudication of the play is if that occurs. It looks like it's just a restart since the official caught it. 3:53 on the clock. Here we go. Baez Garcia comes together with Sandy Garcia. Galvin comes up to play it. Opportunity here for the V-Hawks. The defense not where it should be for the Fighting Saints, and they're bailed out as Tatro is unable to control the ball there. Fighting Saints with possession again. O'Connor plays it outside the defender. Is taken down by a slide tackle. No foul called. The V-Hawks trying to turn that into a counterattack. 3:15 on the clock. Hedges places to the sideline, and Galvin defends nicely, just boots it into the box, forcing the V-Hawks to reset. 3 minutes to play now. Saints by 1, 2-1 here on Senior Day. The last senior honor during the Senior Day festivities was Valeria Baez Garcia. She was escorted by her parents, No and Raquel. She's a nursing major, a 4-year member of the program. She's appeared now in 7 career matches. Congratulations to Valerie Baez Garcia on her St. Francis Fighting Saints career. 150 seconds to play in this match. Saints clinging to a 1-goal lead. Trying to get a huge win and secure a 500 record and a home playoff game. A tie would do that as well, but I tell you what, a win would feel much better here. Flores. Near side, Flores trying to work it back into the middle of the field. Her pass is deflected. V-Hawks trying to turn it out and run. Pass along the sideline will trickle out of bounds. Looking for Amy Kemper. Clock stops. They throw it in and we start over. Saints to throw in again. 1:45 now on the clock. This is Adamari Carrera throwing for the Fighting Saints on the last 2 tries. That one off of a Viterbo player, and Carrera just plays it upfield. Viterbo, a long boot, trying to get into the attacking third. It's played backwards by Valant. A swarm of blue jerseys come to the ball, and finally it's Kemper that's able to play it forward. Kemper again deflects a Litzy Mendez kick. Sandy Garcia plays it to Litzy Mendez. Mendez upfield for O'Connor. O'Connor trying to turn the corner. Can't quite do so. But she retains possession of the ball and plays it into the middle of the field for Kelly Flores. 65 seconds now. Garcia gives it up. Dammer plays it upfield. Let's see, Mendez gets control of it after it bounces around a little bit. And Mendez turns around with 45 seconds left. Viterbo running out of time. The Saints trying to drain this one out. Mendez trying to waste as much time as possible. Plays it over for Kelly Flores. Flores in the middle of the field. Saints should probably get it over to a sideline. And they get it that way to Mendez. Mendez dribbles around. Long shot. Corralled by Ripley. 20 seconds left. Last push here for the V-Hawks. Ripley's boot upfield. Out of play, and that'll just about do it. The Saints can take their time on this throw. The final 10 seconds will count off, and the Fighting Saints are going to secure a win here on Senior Day. Your final score, Fighting Saints 2, Viterbo 1. It's a Senior Day victory, and the Saints move to 6-6-5 on the season. Viterbo falls to 7-3-5. They are 5-2-2 now in the conference. And their fate is yet to be determined as to where they will be in the CCAC tournament. The V-Hawks will play in the tournament. That has been determined. Seeding is TBD. The Fighting Saints sit at 4 right now, and with this win, will more than likely stay there. Of course, Trinity Christian does play today. They have 19 points, just 1 point ahead of the Fighting Saints. Christian 6-1-1 on the season, so we await to see that result. If the Fighting Saints get a little bit of help and TCC falls, we could be looking at your third-seeded Fighting Saints here once things are all said and done. Final look at the numbers here from this one. The Fighting Saints outshot Viterbo 25-12, just 4 shots in the second half for the V-Hawks after leading at halftime 8-7 in that category. Fighting Saints had 14 shots on goal to Viterbo's 4. Just 6 fouls called to the game, 4 on Viterbo, 2 on the Fighting Saints, although Claudia Hernandez was shown a yellow card. Ripley finished the day with 12 saves despite giving up 2 goals. And Crystal Rodriguez gave up the 1 goal on 3 shots faced. She finishes with 2 saves. The goals, Fighting Saints, Litzy Mendez had 1, Flores had 1. 8 shots for Litzy Mendez to lead all scorers. 5 shots on goal to lead all players as well. Kelly Flores, 3 shots, 2 goals. Janacek also had 3 shots, 2 shots on goal. Janacek, 3 shots, 2 shots on goal for her. The 1 goal for Viterbo came from the bench. It was Isabel Henry, 1 goal on her 1 shot in her 35 minutes of play. And the Fighting Saints get a huge win at their last home game of the season. They defeat Viterbo. One last time, your final score, 2-1. We're about a half hour away now from the men's matchup between the same 2 programs, the Fighting Saints and Viterbo. Don't go anywhere. This doubleheader here at Joliet Memorial Stadium continues next. Once again, your final score in the women's matchup, USF 2, Viterbo 1. Don't go anywhere, though. Stay right here at the USF Athletics page. We've got the men's matchup coming for you up next. I'm Alex Melkars. Once again, your final score from Joliet Memorial, Saints 2, Viterbo 1 on Senior Day.